$350,000 grant to the Conyers Rockdale Economic Development Council that will go towards workforce development. And of course, now there may be some folks who wonder, well, what is government doing in the business of workforce development? Well, you know, we don't need to have a federal government that is so small that you can drown it in a bathtub. We need to have a federal government that is able to fulfill the expectations of the framers of the Constitution, who established this country, first of all, to establish justice and to ensure domestic tranquility, and then to provide for the common defense, and last but not least, promote the general welfare. And so this is a responsibility of government to promote the general welfare, and through money funneled back to the people, collected from taxes that all should pay, not just the working people, but everyone should pay their fair share of the tax burden to assist the development of the common good. It's the common good for people to have the kind of training and skills that they need in order to participate in the economy. And so our economy has morphed from an industrial-based economy into a knowledge-based economy, perhaps a little too fast because we have shedded our manufacturing capability, and we never need to be without the ability to produce hardware. We never need to move away from being able to work with our hands, whether or not it's building computers or whether or not it's building widgets that go into computers. So it is a knowledge-based, the information age is what we're in. Everything is geared towards that. But there's opportunities for all skill sets. And what we are finding now, because our country is graying, more and more people retiring and coming out of the workforce. And we have, due to the fact that people are not having 10 babies, families, you know, most families, you know, having one or two, and a lot of folks are choosing not to have children. And so our work base is challenged. So that means then that folks who had been left out of the employment opportunities, like second chance individuals and people who are struggling through whatever addictions or whatever maladies they are suffering from, but to get the proper training and proper treatment and proper knowledge base. Those are skills that we need. A particular community may need that particular skill set more than the next county or city. So this grant will enable the county to respond to the county and the city to respond to the economic needs of the business sector and the educational sector by putting the recipients with the providers, by putting the job seekers with the job creators, by putting with those seeking knowledge with educational institutions that can provide that knowledge. And so $300,000 is not a whole lot of money. It's not even a drop in the bucket, but it's a little something that will help. And there is, or there should be, more where that came from to provide for the, to promote the general welfare. That's what government should be about. And so I will always stand for the government being able to provide resources and revenue back to state and local governments so that they can tailor those resources to suit the needs of the people in those areas. And so that's where we are, and I'm happy to deliver this community project grant funding is what it's called, but it's actually, to use a word for it that has gone away, and that is earmarks. It's an earmark. Nothing wrong with earmarks. It's congressionally directed spending. Congress has the ability, has the responsibility to raise revenues and also authorize and appropriate for expenditures. And so in doing so with that power, Congress should not do away with its ability to earmark or for its representatives to earmark money for certain projects in their districts. We just need to have guardrails in place to make sure that there's no abuse of that process. And there had been abuse. There are now guardrails, and now we're seeing a movement back towards earmark funding. And I'm hoping, I'm going to be a proponent for that to continue so that we can continue to deliver needed funding to entities, to private public-private partnerships to make life better in the communities that we all live, work, and play in. And so with that, I will now yield to Mr. Hannah.